Yeah, the tabletop game, which is going to be the first in a long series of developments that I will be doing. But yeah, I'm just going to start talking about it. I'm going to do it. Corey and I had been working on a game like for on and off for a couple of years. We've got a lot done already. I don't know how much we'll take to actually like complete it, but we've got a pseudo engine in place. We're basically ready to play test. We just need to actually like iron out some more of the rules. But we've got all these jobs and classes designed. We've got these races in place. We've got no real, like a little bit of story and background and setting and stuff like that, but no real campaigns just yet. The game that I'm making is one in a longer series that I want to do. I'm eventually going to be building up to an MMO, but that's a very monumental task. And I'm going to need, one, a commitment from a player base to make it a reality. Two, I'm going to need experience in game design. And three, I'm going to need the team to make it happen. And that's something that I don't have the resources or expertise in right now, but I eventually will get up to. Right? So the plan at the moment is I wanted to at least start with, this is the world, these are the mechanics, this is the general idea that we're going for. The TTRPG is the cheapest one to do. Of course, I'm going to need art and I'm going to need marketing. So I will be doing a little bit of crowdfunding, but what I wanted to do was show proof of product. You know, proof of concept of what this is, that we're already working on it, that it's mostly done already, and that we're going to keep working on it, and then use what proceeds we get from actually selling the... and all I want to do is like sell PDFs, and then if we hit the Kickstarter goal to have stretch goals for, hey, if you're this level of backer, then we'll make physical books. But yeah, I wanted it to be something that is very easy to get into, very cheap to get into, and has some of the role-playing elements available and encourage those role-playing elements from D&D without having the barrier to entry. If you look at D&D and even sometimes Pathfinder, a lot of it is a lot of numbers, a lot of sub-specs, a lot of backgrounds and stuff like that, which makes it a really great game. Like, I'm not trying to badmouth or diminish what D&D brings to the table, or even Pathfinder for that matter. It's a lot for new players to get into, and that's what I wanted to avoid. I wanted the players to be able to just hop into it, not look at it and be like, wow, I need to spend a whole lot of time just to understand this. We cranked back a lot of the numbers, simplified a lot of the stat gains, tried to streamline a lot of the stuff for the process of building a character and how they progress, and what paths they can go on, making multiple paths to develop your character that I think have a really good sense of identity and customization, and having a leveling system that will allow you to customize while also still not being a convoluted mess. So what spurred me, like, I've always wanted to make games, always, ever since I was like 10, 12, and the Pokemon company was like, we don't take suggestions. So I was like, all right, I'm going to become a game dev, so you have to listen to me. Or so that you'll take me seriously, basically. Or I'll just make my own stuff. And ever since then, I don't know if I was probably around 16 to 18 actually at that point. On top of that, what really gave me the urge to just go ahead and be like, yes, I want to make ultimately an MMO. It wasn't even Final Fantasy, it was Overlord. And a lot of people might hear that and kind of balk at the idea like, oh, it's so unrealistic, it's very unbalanced, it's this and that, he didn't actually make a game, it's just kind of this concept for the story. But it wasn't everything in the world of Yggdrasil, or yeah, it wasn't even like the concept of Overlord. What got me the most was how much time he reminisced on spending with his friends in the game. All the goals that they could work toward together, all the things that they did, and all the memories that they made. I really wanted to recreate something like that experience. I wanted to make a game that was immersive. I wanted to make something that involved people in the process of, you know, building their guilds or their characters or whatever, without kind of railroading them along. You know, still giving some structure and story and all that stuff that we do have outlined at the very least. But I wanted something that was really just community driven. Probably not so much in the terms of Ashes of Creation, which I'm looking forward to immensely when that finally hits. Not so much the players that are influencing the world, but you have options to work together with your friends for something that you have things to do with your friends. You know, that you can still do stuff alone if you need to play alone, right? If you know it's a pain in the butt, I know as a raid leader, to get people online and get people doing stuff. And I really didn't like that in 11, where I needed people to do like story stuff and all that. But still, having that incentive to get a group and find people that worked together with you, that's what I miss. That's what I want. That's what I wanted to aim for. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to translate all that into the TRPG, but right now is going to be a lot more of the concepts, the races, the jobs, the leveling systems that I'm going to introduce. The first thing that we're working on is having a leveling system that's more of a container than a straight line. So at certain levels, you can unlock certain things and you have different paths that unlock to you, but you can spend those levels. So along with getting stronger, you are spending those levels towards what specialization you want. You could put levels into your job and then specialize in a high class elite job, or you could kind of mix it up. You could put some levels into your race and get special, what I would call like divine attributes. So in the world, the pantheon that creates each race also kind of gives them this ability to transcend normal limits by basically unlocking their full potential racially. So they'll get special powers, special transformations, and unique stuff that they can use for, you know, their game plan, what they want to do, how they want to play, or again just go straight into the job trees. And also having, not for every job or every class I should say, but I would say over half of the classes that we have designed have at least 2 paths. So you can go, say, as like a paladin or something. You could go straight tank, or you could be more of like the Avenger paladin, something I think that, well, WoW has, where it's more of a DPS spec. Something like a summoner, you would have your summon, your pet, and then you would basically build your pet specifically to have, I don't actually think we designed that one fully yet. Anyway, the idea behind that, though, from what we've discussed, is your pet can be tanky, an attacker, or more support based. Having, you know, offensive, defensive options, and then also just letting DPS specs be DPS specs, and having, you know, are you going to go dot spec, or are you going to go more traps, or are you going to go just straight glass cannon kind of a thing. So that's kind of the design process that we're doing. I'm looking into another artist right now to share more assets. We have 3 of the races outlined or designed. I can get you guys more of that in the future. I actually have 3 things right now. So your normal stuff with our dwarves. We tried not to go super stocky. They still have, you know, the shorter stature, but they're a little bit more proportionate is what we wanted to do. Still cave dwelling, still metallurgists, and they've got their own society built around, you know, what they do within the mountain and how they cultivate life there. But the special traits are in these tattoos that they all have, which is more of their racial spec, where these are tattoos made from ink of a specialized ore that they mine from their homeland. And when they reach a certain racial level, it basically, they can imbue it with their energy, or it imbues them with an energy that can, you know, give them very powerful but temporary buffs, like either being very brawny, tanky, and some damage output as well. So they'll start to like either glow, and, you know, their eyes will start to glow, and just very empowered. Nothing really changes about them physically, but it will still be an aesthetic change that, you know, you unlock that and people know that the fight's about to start, you know, and get serious. We have our elves, similar things with their markings on their bodies, but these are more magically based. So kind of like their veins going on here, magically imbued. Again, they will start to glow when they become when the racial levels increase and they're able to do more stuff. You know, increasing their movement speed, allowing them more magic, or just their physical abilities. More roguelike than mages in this world, but nothing obviously stops you from speccing into strictly a mage or anything like that. And of course, we wanted to pay special attention to their ears. Of course, again, forest dwelling. Didn't want to go too far off the beaten path with that, but their ears are made to look like leaves, and that's a customization option in an actual video game that we wanted to do. with how leaf-like their ears would be. And then we've got our custom race, which I cannot share too much about. These are the Safari. S''F''A', just like said, like safari. You're going on a safari. Very seclusive race, very arrogant race, very long-lived, even more so than the elves. Their patron deity is something of a problem child in some respects, and I do intend to start writing the actual story to lead up to where this game will start, to kind of give some backstory to the lore. Yeah, everything else is, we're looking at, these are not our things, but we do want an avian race like the Arakocra. We do want a satyr race. We want a werewolf, a lichen race, and a kind of demon-like race, bulky demon-like race, and then the angelic race that, again, this is from Gargoyles, this is from League of Legends. I'm not claiming any of this art, but that's kind of the idea behind these bulkier jobs. So I was talking about the races and kind of the customization of your character. We haven't come up with anything really campaign-wise. Right now we're just trying to focus on getting some mock stuff together to start playtesting, making sure that the rules we have in place work. There are a few mechanics that are kind of experimental that I'm hoping they'll probably work better in the video game side of things. After this, it'll be the same world, same ideas, same general systems for, you know, how you level your character, but it's going to be a small, slightly multiplayer video game is kind of the vision for it. Action combat based. So kind of think Monster Hunter, but also not an arena as in like a MOBA, but like kind of a Coliseum. My thought or inspiration was kind of if you've seen Hunter x Hunter, the tower that they climb, something akin to that. And then just think like going to the Hunter hub and then going in Monster Hunter and then like ascending levels. So kind of like the Tower of Ascension and other games and stuff and all that. Think about what that's going to entail, but that's like later on, and that's after, you know, if the tabletop takes off. But I really wanted to get to that point, and the first step in that is the tabletop to do that. And of course, I still want to have people working on the tabletop as we progress. So I'll have a tabletop team, and then we'll go into the video game. I'll start hiring a couple devs, artists, stuff like that. It's a really big project. It's really ambitious, but I am still trying to take it in stride. Part of this is showing the tabletop, making sure that people understand that I'm not... Like, I can't understand the full scope of it. I've never made a game before, but I have to make a game in order to get the experience. That's basically what people say. I have a little bit with doing stuff from college. That's what I went to school for, a little bit. I'm hoping to learn, and I'm hoping to show that we at least have a good concept and that I'm willing to put in the effort to see something through to fruition, as long as things don't get in the way. But yeah, the passion is there, the drive is there. You've seen me grow this channel over the past 10 years-ish. You've seen me motivate myself to work. The lack of consistency in videos has never been because of a lack of desire to do anything. It's usually just because raid content is what is important to most people. And now that I have somebody to help me with the peripherals and like either stream highlights or what you're seeing right now on YouTube, and then anybody in the comments on the YouTube video, please just drop a comment and I will love to talk to you guys about what we're working on. And yeah, again, if you guys have any questions, please, I'd like to interact with you and give you information and maybe assuage your fears on anything or concerns, or if I can do anything to let you guys know that I am working on this, that it's a real thing. Hopefully I will have something, I'll have an actual official announcement with a logo and everything. Like I want to say in a couple months it should be fine, and I should have enough stuff. It just depends on if I can find an artist in time and how fast they work and how satisfied I am with the product and all that stuff. So I'm getting as much insight as I can from other people outside that are in the industry, and I'm doing my best. So that's I hope that's a realistic expectation for you guys. I hope I don't get too many comments on like, you don't know what you're getting yourself into, because this is my dream. It's what I want to do, and you guys have seen that I've been fully self-motivated for a long time. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think, and we'll keep you posted.